Starting to the bottom left, we have the MVP Protoss player, formerly known as Baby Bye Bye and Killer.
MVP Swagger,
probably best known as his real name, Songho.
Playing a strong game earlier against Jungbi, but it was the Samsung Khan Protoss who won the match in the end. Now he's up against a Prime player to the top left in red. We have the only
Creator Prime,
Protoss player active in the GSTL for Team Prime. And struggling a little bit in this matchup in Heart of the Swarm. Has played 3 best-of-3s, one against First that he lost. It was actually a best-of-1 in the GSTL. And he played a best-of-3 against Trust in Code A, which he won with a 2-0. And also another best-of-3 against SOS at the Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Game qualifier. And that was one of the matches that he lost to, so he's on 33% win ratio in Heart of the Swarm in pre-VP.
Yeah. This is a tough matchup in Heart of the Swarm. It's different than Wings of Liberty, and especially the early stage of Wings of Liberty, where there was a lot of forward gating, a lot of ETs and things like that. The build orders can give you huge advantages. Swagger did not care that Jungbi saw his Stargate. He showed it right away in the first game he played, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something like that again. Creator's usually the guy who tries to play the macro game, do a Sentry expand with the Mothership Core, might even play a little bit greedier than what we saw in the past. He's such a great defensive player in PvP that it's hard to attack him.
That's what he showed us in Wings of Liberty over and over again when we were in the qualifier for WCS Korea in August 2012. He showed the style with the sentries where he, especially on Daybreak, was going into his Stargate, always with the sentries, very safe against his opponent's aggression. Doesn't matter if it was a huge gateway commitment or just a Blink Stalker play. He was always ready. And back then, most of the games, like 70%, were actually PvP, and he won the qualifier.
Yeah. It was very, very well done. You won the entire tournament, as you said, and went through so many prosperous processes to do it.
And then later on, even in the finals for WCS, he played so well, ended up in the final, lost, and lost to Parting in another PvP. And now we have Swagger once again dropping that Stargate that we saw in game number 1 against Jungbi. Same style from him so far.
It's like he waited for the probe to come in before he dropped it, just so you would see it for sure. How will Creator respond? He's already gone into a 2 gateway opening, so he could attack directly, try to do some damage. It's just so hard to do that with the Mothership Core out.
And Creator, of course, knows that he is up against basically the same build that Swagger played earlier. Keep in mind that Creator was sitting in the backstage area watching the match unfold right in front of him on one of the screens. So he knows what he's up against, and he also knows that even with the Blink, it was quite difficult for Jungbi to deal with all those Phoenixes. It was really hard for him to pull that off.
This is such an interesting choice that Creator makes because he wants to, verify 100% that his opponent is going for Phoenixes and he didn't cancel. But sending the Mothership Core here means that it's probably going to die instantly, the Phoenixes. I don't know how much I like this. He doesn't even send it in. And let's see if Creator does something different than going into Blink, because Blink is so hard to actually use against a Phoenix. But like, listen, here's the Mothership Core about to die.
It's
Goodbye.
More of a scout here, I guess, finding out if it's like Oracles or Phoenixes, but that is like the most expensive scout that I've seen in quite some time.
And it's all the energy he loses too. It's going to take a while to recharge that. Oh, will he actually be able to save it?
I don't think so. Oh! He recalls just in time, the energy ready in the last second, but I don't think it's going to survive. Well, he's trying to hide it now.
Well, you know, the thing is, he saves it, he saves the gas, but he loses the energy, so, and it's dead.
Yeah, here we go. Mothership Core is down. That did not accomplish anything.
Creator is going to go for the same Blink Stalker type play that we saw before. I just don't see this working. Against good control from Swagger, it just takes him too long. He's going to actually attack very, very quickly here. This is much faster than we saw Jungbi actually have the forward pylon ready.
Well, to be honest, the forward pylon will help him a lot here, and he has the Stalkers in the main base now. I feel that Creator is going to defend with this a lot better than Jungbi did. He has faced builds like this in Wings of Liberty countless times. He was a StarCraft 2 player long before Jungbi entered the StarCraft 2 scene. So I feel that he's going to be completely fine. With the Blink upgrade, he's very mobile. He doesn't get the expansion right away. But why does he move the Stalkers away now?
Well,
he's trying to attack, but he leaves his entire base open to his opponent.
That's the thing, you know, you have to if you're going to actually commit to the attack. You can't leave your Stalkers at home, so...
But Wolf, we don't have sentries. There's nothing to block. The gas that was completely committed to the Phoenixes is now lacking to get the sentries out for a force field, and even with the force field, Could he pull it off? There is no high ground vision just yet for the Blink, but still.
He's just going to fight this straight up, and he has mostly Zealots. That's his problem.
He needs the Photon Overcharge, and there it is immediately. Here come the Zealots, an attempted snipe on the Mothership Core, just barely failing. Where those Phoenixes already heading back, trying to help out.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if Creator was actually going to commit to the attack, and see, Creator can't actually break this right now. He is going into Mortals back at home, so he has that transition available, but you know, this type of play is very... I don't want to say it's all in, but if he doesn't actually do serious damage with these Stalkers...
To be honest, at this point, he is still fine. The question is who transitions out first.
Yeah.
Creator is going to get more and more Stalkers here. We have, of course, still the Photon Overcharge being active, but as soon as that's gone, with Blink Micro, Creator could do a lot here, and Creator has the Micro to pull this off.
I feel like with the Immortals here and another Photon Overcharge, he should be able to defend. The Immortal target is good, he has so many Zealots here.
Here come those Blinks, though. Very cautious how he approaches it. The Photon Overcharge is once again strong. Didn't lose a lot of Stalkers here. Took down a few of the Zealots and at least the shields away from the Immortal. But the second one is already on the way and now out in the game.
And the third one as well. Yeah, this is so tense. It's all about the Blink Stalker Micro. That's what all this game comes down to. The Mothership Core is now out of energy, so he can't use the third Overcharge. This is the last one he's going to have. Creator is super all-in right now. He hasn't transitioned at all at home.
By now we have energy on the Phoenixes again, so they could assist with the lift here. We have 5 of them moving in.
The probe.
Picking off the probe, and here comes another Blink, sniping one of them. Moving back immediately. Next round of Warp Winds is there.
Here we go, the Immortals are ready, the third one about to pop. Phoenix is picking up some of those weakened Stalkers
here. He needs
here.
to snipe those Immortals. The first one is already down. He's trying to take down the second one, but really a big problem for him. The Gravitative Beam is active on all of the Phoenixes.
Yeah, he picks off several Stalkers here. The Immortals running forward, and Creator running out of steam here.
Not only running out of steam, he's running out of units. He's losing them one by one, and GG.
Swagger holds.
Swagger holds, takes the game, and Creator is now 0-2 in the group.
Both Zhangbi and Creator went for Blink Stalkers as a response to this, and Creator went for a more aggressive version. He failed. Zhangbi's version was a little bit more defensive. You know, that attack is just sort of to pull off. If Killer makes only Zealots, saves his gas for the Immortals. If the Stalkers blink in to try to snipe anything, that's when the Zealots start to really do their damage. And then the Overcharge is constantly doing damage, so he has to wait. That gives him time for the Immortals, and then Phoenixes come back with full energy.
It's just this attack would actually have worked in Wings of Liberty, but with the Mothership Core and with the Photon Overcharge, it's a completely different game.
That's such a good point. I mean, Wings of Liberty, this would have been easily a Creator's game.
I would have really liked him to just go into the expansion, to just see to watch the game that Zhangbi played and be like, okay, well, Zhangbi was a little bit risky, lost too many Harvesters. If I take my expansion, then I can still defend with a Blink if I play this right, if I play a little bit passive and just try to defend the 2 mineral lines, and then of course I take it from there. But I feel that would have been the better choice here. Attacking into this, it was really a big problem. But also, one thing that we have to keep in mind, the Mothership Core just barely survived. They were so close, and without the second Photon Overcharge, I think he could have pushed through. At that point, we only had 1 Immortal. That was all that he had, 1 Immortal. And sniping 1 Immortal compared to 3, so much easier. So I feel that Killer saving that Mothership Core just barely, with like 2 or 3 hit points, that was what really made this happen.
Because that second Photon Overcharge is really what bought him the time to get those Immortals out. And, that's what the Zealots were for. He was trying to use the Zealots to protect the Mothership Core, and Creator couldn't decide. I almost feel it would have been worth it for him to just blink 2 Stalkers only forward, kill a Mothership Core, lose those Stalkers, and then just say, all right, well, it doesn't matter, I trade those 2 Stalkers. You're not going to have that Photon Overcharge, because that's worth 5, 6 Stalkers, actually.
I really think the Creator thought he had it. He moved in, he got the last few shots off, and he thought, like, okay, that thing is dead. And then he moves back, and then he sees, what? It survived? So 1 shot more, and the Mothership Core is gone. He doesn't get the second Photon Overcharge, and then it's much more difficult for Killer to actually hold against the wave, against the next wave of attack, as soon as the Photon Overcharge that he used at first is gone.
It was a good idea. For me, I always just prefer players who try to transition more like what you saw Zhangbi against this type of Phoenix play, because the Phoenixes are such a great asset themselves in defense, and you lose so many probes, you lose some momentum there. And Creator, like you said, he's like, well, he had to walk away from his mineral line, so he leaves that exposed. But if he stays at home, then he misses his timing. He doesn't have enough Stalkers to actually finish the attack. It's kind of a catch-22 where you're like, do I wait or do I go? And then you lose some time there. The Immortals come out. He's got the Photon Overcharge. Wings of Liberty would have been a great response.
Yeah, definitely. As it is, though, Creator is suddenly 0-2 in the group, and now close to being eliminated, whereas we have Killer, at least with the hopes here. He is currently 1-1.
He can do it himself. Creator cannot. He has to hope for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly. It depends a little bit of how Killer goes now into the next set of matches, but for Creator, everything is on the line right now. He's in a very bad spot, as is GOMTV. Both of them didn't win a single game just yet. Both of them played 2 matches already. And I mean, right now, they are looking like they're going to be eliminated and will have to participate in Code A next season. So this is very tense. It's not up to them anymore.
Yeah, starts to look that way, man. Very, very tough matches for Creator these days. Not only, of course, in this up and downs, but in his recent history. And tough days for Prime in general in the GSTL. Both Byun and Maru, though, were able to get out of their up and down groups and go to the OSL. So at least they have that.
Marine King.
I'm sorry, I made that mistake. I was like,
no, don't worry. So we have 2 of them already.
I've always got Byun on the mind when I'm thinking about Terran players for Prime.
We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Jungbi now, and this is actually this is going to be epic because both of them are 2-0 in the group, which means whoever takes this game, if Jungbi wins it, he is in Code S. If Yu-Gi-Oh! Wins it, he's not in Code S just yet. He's 3-0, but because of who he played so far, he is still not through. But if Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes it, then GOMTV is out. If Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes it, GOMTV is out. If Jungbi takes it, he's in Code S, and Creator is out.
Yep.
Well, I guess we're going to talk about this in just a second once we add into the match itself.
It's on Red City, 4-player map.
That's a sick map.
Yeah, sick.
Really sick map.
But, this is the first and last time Jungbi will be playing against a Zerg player in the group. And it's a totally different match than what we've seen from him so far.
Jumping into the game right now on 6 City with Jungbi versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Get the GSL up and down Gobi.